Welcome back, everybody, to Music Talk. I'm Dave.
I'm Mike.
And this week, we're checking out a super rocking record. This is from the Winery Dogs. It's their third one.
They don't need any introduction.
Not really. Winery Dogs III. They got their typical stain, their wine glass stains with the paw.
Yep.
And I like the way they did the 3. It's like a claw scratching it. See?
Yep.
Cool. And the back, you got your track listings. Not much to the cover, really. I mean, then you got a cool picture of them in there. Check them out. Looking cool. Go. And the CD looks like this, same as the cover. Got the scratches in there. And you get the pamphlet. So it's got the 3 on the front, which is cool because, I mean, it's black and white, right? Because they're old like we are. So then it's got all the lyrics, some pictures. There's Richie. There's Billy. And sticking a little bit because it's so new. There's Mike. And these guys are super cool dudes, man. I've seen them 3 or 4 times in, different variations of bands. I mean, through my life, I've seen them more than, a bunch in different bands,
Right.
So Winery Dogs, for everybody that don't know, which if you don't know, I'm sorry to tell you, you're missing out. It's Richie Kotzen, which we know Richie Kotzen from Richie Kotzen, right? And then, of course, he was with Mr. Big for a while. He did an album with Poison, which was probably Poison's best musical album they ever did.
Yep.
And then, he did his own thing. And then, of course, Winery Dogs. And he did also that CD we reviewed last year was Smith Kotzen, Adrian Smith, Richie Kotzen.
Yep.
And then, of course, you got Billy Sheehan, Tallis, David Lee Roth, Steve Vai. He's also with Sons of Apollo, who he plays with Mike Portnoy. And then, of course, on drums, you got Mike Portnoy, who's from Dream Theater. And then Sons of Apollo, Neil Morse Band. I mean, there's so many bands these guys are in. I can't even name them all. I mean, it's seriously Billy and Mike and even Ricky. I mean, they're in like 30 bands.
I know.
It's ridiculous how many bands. Not saying that it's ridiculous. It's just, I don't know how they do it, honestly.
Well, part of it too just shows you dealing with top-notch talent here.
Yeah.
But the other side of that coin is there's just not enough people coming out playing real music anymore, playing real instruments. Everybody's too busy sitting at home with a controller, coming up with drum beats and using these loops and stuff, and it's like
that's very possible. I mean, Richie plays on his solo stuff. He plays every instrument. He plays all bass, drums, keys, sings, guitar, whatever, So, I've been a fan of Richie's for years. I've been following the Winery Dogs since their first incarnation back, probably 6-7 years ago now. I don't even know when their first record was, but I've got all their records.
It was 4 years ago since their last record.
Since Hot Street.
Took them 4 years to get back together to do this.
Well, they had so much going on and then COVID and all that mess. So, they were doing all their own stuff. And they do 20 bands, man. I mean, seriously, there's 20 bands amongst these 3 guys that are active right now. I mean, how many times did we do a Neil Morse thing? I mean, he put out 3 records in like 2 years.
Right.
And Portnoy was doing all that, and then Sons of Apollo and all. So when I first found out about him, man, they had an interview on Eddie Trunk was talking to him, and Billy and Mike were getting something together, and they were trying to figure out a guitar player, and they had some people in mind. And Eddie Trunk's like, "Why don't you get Richie?" That's a great idea. So they got together and they started out, and then they did the first album, which was just called the Winery Dogs, which you'll see back there on my wall if you look closely. All of them been autographed. It's that one, right?
Yep.
There. So it was funny because Richie told a story the first time they had a concert. He kept seeing people with Dream Theater shirts on.
Yeah.
He was playing a joke on Portnoy, and he's like, They were backstage one time, and he's like, "Man, I don't understand why these guys keep coming to our concerts wearing Dream Theater shirts. What the hell's Dream Theater?" And Portnoy's looking at him all funny. He's like, "Dude, I'm just joking, man." So I've never heard of Dream Theater. Who are they? It was really funny.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But to me, all the bands these guys are in, it seems like they have the most fun when these three guys are together.
Yeah, I
They
can,
have a blast, man.
I'm telling you, and matter of fact, on one of the songs, and when we get to going down the list, I'll point it out. But I put I put on there that Portnoy was having one hell of a time playing this song.
Yeah.
It just sounded like you could tell he was having fun.
Yeah. I mean, that's the way he is.
You
And
know,
I've seen them.
and
I've seen them twice.
he's using a smaller kit too.
Yeah.
He's not using that big massive kit that he did with Dream Theater. You
Yeah.
know, he's just got like a 4 or 5 piece kit, but he's got it outfitted right. I mean, he's got all the bells and whistles happening.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love it.
He's got them
I love it.
trashy cymbals, man, them accent cymbals that sound like trash can lids and stuff, man.
Mhm.
They are some of the coolest sounding stuff, dude, when he's hitting them. And then you got Billy, what can you say about
Yep.
Billy? I mean, the guy, a lot of times I will say he throws a lot of effects on there and he kind of overplays sometimes, but he's not like, it's not as bad as it used to be. It used to be at times when I'm like, gosh, Billy, just cut back a little. But I don't know, man. These 3 Winery Dogs albums, I just love all of them, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I just think it's growing pains, number one, oh my God. I recall right after I left Rick Stanley, you talking about growing pains. Okay, so
Yeah.
so I go working with these other bands, and I just had all the freedom in the world.
Yeah.
I could do whatever I wanted to do. And
Yeah.
believe me, I was doing everything.
Right. But yeah,
I
these
was
guys,
too
man,
busy, man.
I don't know how many people I've turned Richie Kotzen onto Richie Kotzen, I should say, but people don't know who he is. And it's like, dude, you've got to check out Richie Kotzen, man. If there's nobody else, you got to check him out. I mean, this dude is just a phenomenal everything: guitar player,
Yeah, yeah.
singer, writer. I mean,
Oh yeah.
he's the triple threat for sure, And
Uh,
his wife is a great bass player.
yeah.
So it's like it's crazy, man. Anyways, I just I can't say enough about these 3 dudes. If you ever get a chance to see them, they're touring right now. They're going to be all over the East Coast here. This
Yep.
who knows when.
Yeah,
But
they get I think the closest they come to us is in Minnesota or something like that.
and that's a shame, man. I hope they get over there, man, because you've got to see these guys live.
Well, that's what I don't understand. I mean, unless they're going to end their tour on the West Coast, because they're West Coast guys.
They are. I mean, he lives in California. Richie
Right.
does. I'm sure
Right.
Billy probably does. I don't even know where Portnoy
They
is.
might just be going to wind the tour up over here. I hope they come out here because I want to
Could
see.
be. Well, they'll probably go from here to like Japan and do Europe and all that, and then they'll go back over to the West Coast. That's usually how they do it, I think. But
I hope so.
I'm going to be going to see them here real soon. They're coming within like a month or so, and I'll try to catch a video or 2 and post on here as well. So y'all subscribe so you can check it out, and I'll prove to you how great they are and how much fun they are. Anyway, all right, we'll go through it real quick. I don't have anything bad to say about this record, so we'll just go through, talk a little bit about it, and then we'll let y'all go buy it and enjoy it or stream it or whatever you want to do.
Yep.
Just do it. So the first song comes out, that's Xanadu. And I mean, this is a typical Winery Dog song, right?
Yep.
It's got all the elements. It just proves right here that they're all masters of the craft.
It's just a blast off, man.
Right.
It's real very busy in a good way.
It's just like all 3 of their albums start out with a song just like this. They just, I mean, my gosh, man, how tight can Billy and Richie get, right? With these runs. It's just unbelievable.
I know.
Just sit there and go, and not, it's unbelievable, man.
I'm gonna tell you too, and this is a little bit off track of the album, a little bit, but I was watching a thing on YouTube about the front of house engineer for Styx,
Mhm.
And he was talking about all the new gear that they've got and everything that they travel with now. It's like, yeah, that PA system they've got is multi-millions of dollars worth of equipment. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he said the way things are now, because see, to blast off with something like this in concert with Xanadu,
Yeah.
that is something that, I'm sorry, that's a, a sound engineer's nightmare.
Yeah. It is. And,
Because everything's got to be right. These guys have got to hear each other perfectly.
not to mention when you do a song like that, if you ain't warmed up and ready,
Exactly.
I mean, dude, I don't know how they're going to come out of the box like that. They probably won't play this one first, but they might, man. Because I mean, they used to start their show out with Elevate, and that is the same thing, dude. It's like you got the same, it's the same formula, flat out kicking butt.
Well,
Straight up.
if it was my band, I'd be going, we're going to do this. We're going to tour on this album. And then after we finish with this album, we'll throw some extras in. But we're going to do it from point A to point B.
But the thing with these guys is it doesn't matter what song they start with. They're gonna blast. They're almost all of them are blasting right from the start.
Right.
I mean, there's no breaks, man. I mean, they're just killing it the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah. My whole point is that this is where today's technology is shining through. Bands are able to come walking on stage and just nail it right off the bat.
And you're only talking about a 3-piece band. Now he brings a piano with him too, or a keyboard, so he will have that. But I mean, these guys, of course, Portnoy is playing a smaller kit. Dream Theater, I think he had like 65 tracks of just drums.
Yeah, he had. Yeah,
now he's probably down to 10, 15, maybe.
Yeah. So, and you know what? I don't miss that. I don't miss the big kid at all. I mean,
no, because the stuff he does on here, man, it's unbelievable, man. It's crazy. So anyway, Xanadu, flat out kick ass, straight from the beginning. I mean, you're coming out with a bang, and and it's not like they did everything they know in that one song either, because they had 9 more. It's like you're like, man, what else can they do? Oh, okay, next song. All right, I see. So the next one we get is Mad World. Got that typical Richie falsetto going on, man, and his backup vocals. You can tell. I mean, this is just classic Richie. And the groove is fantastic. I love the groove. You gotta love the part where he says, "Get on the bus," right? The very first line, "Get on the bus."
Yep. Exactly.
Get on.
Exactly.
And then he's got that little phase shifter going on the guitar. Sounds like bass solo at the end. And then even with the bass solo, you got the double bass work with Portnoy, and it fits. It's not blast beat. It's just perfect.
Right. I mean, he's playing rudimental stuff, and it's written for the part. And Thomas Lang is another one that does a lot of that similar stuff. And that's another freakazoid. That's
right.
I mean, he's a freak of nature the way he plays, but
but Portnoy, man, I mean, the guy plays effortlessly, man. I mean, it's like it's nothing to him, and he's singing too in the background. He's doing vocal work.
Yeah. So, what I like too, though, at the end of Xanadu, you hear him throw the sticks down.
It's like, that's it. We're out. It's kind of like you want to, and then threw the sticks down.
Yep.
They probably did it all in one take. Who knows, man? I mean, these guys are so good at this stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Then you get to number 3 is Breakthrough, and he's got that flanger, that shifter thing going on again. Love the chorus on this one, man.
Yep.
This reminds me a lot of what Richie was doing on the Salting Earth album he did, which he didn't do a lot of the songs on tour. It was right before COVID, of course, but I did see him on the tour of the Salting Earth. He did do a whole lot of the songs on there, but seems like this might have come from that era. He may have had some stuff worked out on that one.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask him when I go see him. Ask him
say, dude, what's up, man?
Yeah, was any of that stuff from the Salting Earth left over?
Can you explain this to me?
Well, after the Salting Earth record, he did the 50 for 50 because he turned 50 and he put out a record with 50 songs on it. And it was like, geez, dude.
Now, look,
you're going way too many songs.
You're going to have to get you a Zoom recorder and put our logo around it and go, hey, I want to know some things now about your music. You know, you got to tell me about it.
I'm gonna ask him.
Yeah,
I'm gonna ask him if I can record a couple of questions with them, because they'll sit back and talk. I've talked to these guys numerous times.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, the one time I saw them up at the Beacon, we were out back talking, and this guy brought, they sign everything. This guy brought a Dream Theater album that had Mangini on it, and Portnoy's like, he's like, "Are you kidding me, man? You want me to sign this record that I wasn't even on?" He's like, "Anybody else got something they want me to sign that I didn't play on?" It was like, it was so funny, dude. It was so funny. But
oh God.
yeah, it was like, everybody's like, "Dude, what's wrong with you, man?" But anyway, yeah, they're really cool cats, man. So then we get to number 4 is Rise. And here he's got this little split guitar going left and right. It's like a double guitar. And it's just so cool how he's doing one part, and then you hear that second one come in over here. And man, I mean, it's just, Richie is just, he's unbelievable, man. And then Billy's got that steady rolling bass line going, man. And this thing here, man, they just make everything seem so easy. And one thing I got on this one is, excuse my language, but it's so fucking tight on this song. Just the stuff that they do, man. I mean, even when Billy and Richie are playing their runs, Portnoy's right there the whole time.
Oh, I know.
Doing that, all of it. It's just, I'm like, damn, man, how do they do this? Just drives me crazy.
Musical drums, man.
Yep. And then number 5, we get to Stars, and I love the simplicity of the groove here. I like the way they let the drums just play, with nothing. So you get nothing but drums. And then
I've got written down good sultry feeling. Yeah. I loved the groove of this song. And I love that underlying drop tuning happening with it. And then when they kick into the chorus, which only lasted about 2 or 3 bars, and then they're right back into that sultry.
Right back into it. Yep. And the guitar sounds amazing on there. And it's got like this reverse delay thing going on or something. And then he gets that second guitar that comes in with that real dirty sound. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Creep, a little bit, how they get that rocking guitar in there.
Yeah.
The song doesn't sound like it, but just when he's bringing that contrast of that dirty guitar over top of that, it's just so amazing, man. Crazy. Then we get to number 6, which is The Vengeance. And this one, the effects on his guitar, it sounds like a keyboard or something. I thought it was a keyboard, but then when I was listening to it, I'm like, no, it's him playing it on the guitar. It's got that.
Right.
I think it's the guitar, man. I really think it is.
More than likely.
Something he's got on there.
He was probably doing hammer-ons with the effect.
Yeah. And this one, man, his voice, man, he really gets up there. He's really getting high on this one.
Well, I got to tell you, when I first heard this album, before I did any research on it, I had the vision that it was like a 4-piece band.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I was thinking that Joe Satriani was playing guitar.
Yeah.
When I first heard it. And I'm like, no. And then I go back and listen to it again and start doing research. No, it's Richie Kotzen.
Yeah.
The guy's phenomenal, man.
He's a beast, man.
Phenomenal guitar player. Yeah.
I mean, and for being known, the little known that he is, it sucks, man, because
his vocal work is tremendous.
It's like he's got the guitar work of a Satriani or a Steve Vai with the vocal work of a Chris Cornell,
Right.
Like a lot of people think he sounds like the guy from Soundgarden.
I thought he did too.
But when you start really listening to him, you can tell that it's not, and then it's just Richie.
Yeah.
But, I'm going to tell you, man, I always thought of Richie Kotzen, and I hope nobody takes this the wrong way, is I always thought of him as the White Prince, because he reminds me a lot of Prince.
Yeah.
Of the stuff that he can do.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously his guitar playing is probably a little more in depth than some of the stuff, but I mean, the way that he can play everything in his music and his records, his solo records, they go from every extreme. It reminds me of Prince,
Yeah.
Not that they're sound alike or anything. It's just that they're a genius in the music talent.
Right.
So anyway, I'll just move on from that. So the next one we get to is, yeah, I know I'll probably get some flack on that one, but whatever.
That's all right.
Bring it. As long as you click that little button down here in the video,
That's right.
you can say whatever you want to me, and I won't even be mad. So the next one is number 7, Pharaoh, and it's just a great song. I love the breaks. Portnoy's feet on this one, dude. His feet are just, it just. I mean, what can you say?
I mean, I've listened to this album at least a half a dozen times. And every time I listen to it, I just sit back with my jaw on the floor, just thinking, my God, I haven't even started picking apart what he was doing.
It's hard to, right?
It's like, I know what he's doing. He's having a blast. He's having a good time. And there ain't no way to keep up with that.
Yeah. Crazy.
There's not. I mean, you can't, I'm sure there are people out there that can write the charts out, stuff like that. More power to you. But my point is, I don't want to pick it apart.
No,
I'm never going to be a Portnoy anyway.
no.
So why should I even care? I just enjoy listening to it.
No, it's crazy, dude. I mean, it's just they're just crazy. So, I mean, I'm gonna probably drop another F-bomb on this next song. So, the next one is Gaslight.
Yep,
man, this is a flat out ball buster, dude.
This is the one I was talking about. Portnoy is having fun,
dude. I mean, and then you get that solo, the bass solo in there.
Yes,
and Portnoy is just rolling the whole time behind him.
Yeah, it's like,
and then they come in all together, and it's just fucking insane, dude. I mean, it's insane. I mean, if you don't listen to any song on this record but this one, I mean, you gotta listen to this one. This one is like, and like you're saying, Portnoy's having fun, right? And not only is he having fun, he's just sitting there like it's nothing. It's like,
I know. It's
blasting. I just makes me never want to play again any instrument after listening to a song like that. The bass, the guitar. I know I can't sing anyway, but surely you don't want to even try to play that drums like that, because I mean, I don't know.
I'm not gonna pretend to.
Yeah, these guys, man, just put on a clinic every time they play. And then number 9, we come to Lorelei, and it's a typical blues pattern, but it reminds me a lot of Fooled Around and Fell in Love.
Yeah, it's a good bouncy blues, is what it is. That's the way I described it. Yeah. I didn't think about Fooled Around, Fell in Love, but yeah.
And they did a cover of that song, their first tour. They did Fooled Around and Fell in Love.
Huh.
And it reminded me a lot of it, like they pulled some of it,
Right.
And it also kind of reminds me again of what he was doing on Salting Earth, a lot of the way he's singing it and the vocal work and stuff. So typical Richie, enjoying it, having fun, pull it a little bit out of the, Fool Around and Fell in Love and do it on here, and it's great. And the words are great, the words on this whole record are great.
Yep.
I ain't even talked about that because the musicianship is so freaking phenomenal that, even the words are cool. I mean, Richie's always been a little dark. He's always had some demons in there, so he gets some help. But on here, I think he's having a little more fun. Some of the stuff he's having some, the lyrics are more fun. Lorelei is, it's a siren of the sea, basically. She's,
When I saw the title of the song, I was saying, "Oh no, Styx
cover." Yeah, that's what I thought too. And I was like,
Lorelei, let's live together.
Completely couldn't be anywhere more different, right?
Exactly.
So then we get to the 10th song, which is The Red Wine. And it reminds me a lot of a Mr. Big or even David Lee Roth's Bump and Grind. I think this was a Billy riff because the sounds like something Billy would have wrote.
Well, I got to tell you, it just, to me, it had Montrose written all over it.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, Sammy Hagar, Ronnie Montrose. There you are, rock candy.
Yeah, and it's just a party song, dude. I mean, they're
Yeah.
even saying on there, it's like, us three dogs are gonna let y'all out and just, we're gonna have a
Yep.
good time. The three
Yep.
dogs are just letting y'all have a good time.
It's just a
And of course, they're the three dogs. So,
good blues rocker, man. It
and I
is.
love
I love the riff,
and the
I love
syncopated chorus is cool and is very difficult. So there's a part in there where they're doing the fours, but it sounds like they're doing like a 5/4 or something. I don't know
Yeah.
what it is, but he does this little syncopated thing, and I don't know how they keep it together. Because they keep going, they end up exactly where they're supposed to.
Mm.
But and it sounds easy, but it's not. It is so difficult. He's like
Yeah.
da 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 da. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
It's
Then of course, Richie just rips it up, and Billy rips it up at the end, and it's just what an album.
I know, man.
I'm
Well,
exhausted just talking about it,
that's
dude.
just all I got to say about it is it's just good rock and roll with class. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
There's nothing else that I can say about it, man. You
dude,
know,
it's produced by the Winery Dogs. It's engineered by Richie, probably in his own studio because he does most of it. He sent it out to get mixed, you know, mixed and mastered by a guy named I want to say Tim. No, Jay Rustin. Not sure who he is,
huh.
but dude, it's basically Richie and the boys at their finest, man. Richie has proven that he can record well. He can record and engineer an album super well. He's
Mhm.
done it for a long time and he's still doing it. Um, I just think it's pretty close to perfection, man, when it comes to rock. I mean,
Well, I
these
gotta,
guys, they're
I
right
gotta tell
there.
you, I love the fact that there's more and more artists stepping up and taking control of the engineering on their albums because a lot of times in the old days you wind up losing time and stuff because your producer, your engineer didn't like what they were hearing.
Yeah.
Now, if you're part of the band and you're capable of doing the engineering work, more power to you
Yeah,
because
man. Because
I'll tell you what, you get your point across.
yeah, because Richie has a way of pulling out of his head and putting it on tape. He can do it, you know,
Yep.
and he's been doing it for years. You know, the first Winery Dogs album, probably still my favorite. Hot Streak, the second one, fantastic. This one's fantastic. I'm telling you right now, I'm giving this record a 10. I'm actually giving this a 10.
Yeah, I
And
was,
and it's not even my favorite Winery Dogs album.
but that's what I was going to say too. I'm going to give it a 10 because every song's different.
Yep. It's
And I
different.
never got tired of the sound.
Mm-mm.
They
And
put enough variety in there, and that's hard to do with the same instruments in your hand for the whole album.
yeah. And for the last 4 weeks, we've done three-piece bands. Do you know that?
Yep.
Our last four
And
reviews,
every one of them we have liked.
we have Anthony Gomes,
Yep.
and then we did Aaron Jones.
And that, which again, people go out and buy that album.
Yeah, not many people have looked at the video of us reviewing it either. You need to go out there and even if you don't watch the review, go check out Aaron Jones.
Yes.
And then last week we did Jared James Nichols,
Yep.
another phenomenal guitar player. And now we got the Winery Dogs, all three-piece bands, and
Mm-hmm.
just flat out killing it, man. I
Yep.
mean, it's just not much more I could say, man, other than I think everything about this record was done right. It was recorded well, produced well. The musicianship is just 11s, you know. It's crazy, man. I don't know. I gave it a 10, man, because I it's a lesson. They took me to school again.
Yep.
So
Every time I hear them, they take me to school. I mean, Mike Portnoy, I just, my jaw just hits the floor every time I hear him play. And it's like, my God, dude.
and you know what's the best part about it? is these three dudes, man, are so cool and down to earth, and they will sit there and just talk and joke and have a good time with you. They're very humble, and they're just masters of everything they do, man. And it's just crazy, super crazy.
Wow.
Love them, man. Love them. So I gave him a 10. Did you say 10 on yours too, Mike?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. So we got 2 10s, man. That's probably the first time we probably gave 10s before together.
I don't remember giving 10s.
And I think we did 10. I think Bruno's Silk Sonic got some 10s, I think.
Yeah.
You know.
That and maybe Rival Sons.
Yeah. Well, Rival Sons, I didn't give him a 10 because I wish they would have sang over that one part.
Yeah.
I think I gave him a 9-9. But I might have gave Chris Stapleton a 10 too. I can't remember. There's a few. But anyway, we'll wrap it up. Winery Dogs 3.
Yes.
Not only this one, go get all their stuff. I'm telling you, man, the Winery Dogs are they're insane. If you don't know who they are, you're really missing the boat. Because I mean, they're just all fantastic, and they're all fantastic, and together they're even super fantastic. I mean, probably one of the best super groups ever put together.
Yep. Well,
I mean, that's saying a lot too, because there's a lot of super groups out there, and I mean, I'd put them up against anybody. So
yeah, I'm pretty much there with you on that one. I think Glenn Hughes would give them a run for their money. Yeah.
They've probably played with him before. I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah. But
And I'm sure they know Glenn Hughes. Trust me.
yeah, there again though. I mean, you're talking about these 3 and 4 piece bands, and that's all you need. I mean,
yeah.
Look at the music that has stuck around. I mean, it's like okay, Bad Company, for example, 4 piece band.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
three musicians and a singer is usually when you're talking about a 4-piece band. Occasionally they'll pull out a guitar or something.
yep.
I mean, even Alter Bridge, same way.
Or play piano or something. Yeah.
Yeah. So
But yeah, I mean, Queen, 4-piece
exactly.
band.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, come on. I mean, there it is.
Yeah.
It's
I just love the simplicity of a 3-piece band.
Yeah.
And when you have a rhythm section like Portnoy and Billy Sheehan or Ginger Baker or freaking you name it. When you got people like that, Hendrix's band, I mean, those are the masters of it, dude. I mean, they're the masters. I mean, you got a drummer and a bass player that can cover everything behind the guitar player. Then you got a phenomenal guitar player who could sing. Just crazy.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing like it, man.
Nope, it's not. And it's real easy to make things entertaining. I mean, hell, Johnny Cash plus 2. I mean, 3-piece band. Look at the Doors, 3-piece band with a singer.
Buddy Holly.
Yep.
I mean, all of them.
Early Buddy Holly. Yep. I mean, it's and that's usually when the best stuff comes out because once you start putting more pieces on stage, then you wind up being a big production.
That's right.
And you get eat up with all the lights and the flash and all that stuff. I mean, I remember going to the Hampton Roads Coliseum, and I think the first concert I saw there was Steppenwolf.
Yeah.
And there was nothing on stage. They didn't even have a backdrop.
Right.
They just walked up on stage and just started raising hell.
Yeah.
It was great. Saw Neil Diamond there, of all people. 4-piece band.
Yeah.
It was him, guitar player, bass player, and piano player and drummer. Right. So he had 4 pieces behind him.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that's all you need. When you start doing overproduction and stuff, it's just ridiculous. But anyway, we'll go ahead and wrap it up.
Yep.
Winery Dogs 3 scratches.
That's right.
Go check it out. I gave it a 10. Mike gave it a 10. I mean, what more can you say, man? Go learn. Go practice.
There's not a whole lot more to say. It's just there it is in a nutshell.
Just practice more. That's what I tell myself after listening to this. Like, man, I got to go practice.
Yeah, but don't put yourself in the pigeonhole though, that you gotta get up to that level. And
Nope.
there are levels that reach the same plateau that aren't in the same area that they're participating in.
Yeah. Yeah, I can never aspire to be them guys, man. Or I'd be a loser and a failure.
No. No, the only thing is just listen to the music, man.
That's it, man. Y'all stay safe.
Peace out.